I woke up sweating in the middle of the night recently and thought, Christ, I haven't done any exercise since I was 2. Do you know that feeling? It's quite scary, isn't it? Oh dear, going to die in about a month. So I thought, I better just check out with my GP if I was going to die. So off I went along to my GP. I said, look, I've done no exercise since I was 2. Is it too late for me? And he said, no, it's never too late. He said, just start very slowly, just do something a couple of times a week that gets you slightly out of breath. So I started smoking again. Do you know what? It's really done the trick. I feel great. I'm going to have some more. No, actually, I have to confess you, I did actually start doing some exercise. And don't hold this image in your head for too long or it'll make you queasy, right? So I started running. Obviously had to check with the local council that the infrastructure of the roads was okay. They were a bit, but they let me in there. My husband was very supportive. He ran a 10k recently. Then he apologised and I let him back in the car. But, you see, the thing about exercise is it's fucking boring, isn't it? It is so dull. So it was a bit like when I was at school, you know, when I had some homework to do. I had to have something to work towards, like being hit if I didn't do it, you know. So I thought, I'll have to enter myself for some event where I might possibly be humiliated if I haven't trained. So I entered myself for a charity 5k women's race in Hyde Park, right? Which is possibly to date the most humiliating day of my life. Because what they don't actually tell you, right, if you're a so-called celebrity, right, is that they put you up the front of the race next to the professional. That's what they're thinking, I wonder if I can tell which group's which. They're all kind of 18 foot tall and weigh 3 stone, and then there's us, the celebrities. Fag, beer, you know. And I'll tell you what, the professionals really looked down on us. Oh, it was terrible. We were humiliated just by their gaze. And I thought to myself, I'm not putting up with this. For the sake of my grandchildren, I'm going to make sure when the klaxon goes off, I'm in the lead for at least 0.03 of a second. So I waited, I thought they're not going to expect the fat one to go off like a fucking rocket. I was there waiting for it, and I did, and I went off like the fucking clappers, right? Oh, it was a nightmare. Knocked someone out my tits. Fell over, 30,000 women trampled over me. Much worse for some woman up ahead, actually. She tripped over one of her labia. And she had spikes on as well. So... Sorry, have you just had your dinners? So I decided I'd try and do some sort of slightly lighter exercise that would get me fit but wasn't quite so humiliating. So I thought I'd do swimming. Because swimming's quite good if you're a fat person, because just your head pokes out of the water. People can't tell what's underneath. You're a fucking iceberg down there, mate. So again, I had to train for something, and a friend of mine very handily said, oh, can you do a charity swim for me? 2 miles. I was like, oh yeah, all right, well possibly I could just float. Maybe a boat will come in and tow me. So we did this charity 2-mile swim in the sea in, yum, Hastings. Have you been to Hastings, jewel of the southeast? Just like the Mediterranean. So there's me and my fat mate Joe, the 2 fat Joes, right? And the rest of them were a professional swimming club. So that was a bit of a nightmare. And actually swimming is a nightmare for the big woman because you're not quite sure what to wear, you know. I quite wanted to wear a sort of 20s outfit, you know, skirt, boots, the lot. But you're not allowed, so I had to wear my fat lady swimming costume. I better trim everything. So, you know, I plaited my bikini line. Didn't want it to get caught on some rocks. And off I went down into the sea with my fat mate Joe. And they said, right, you're swimming from the harbour arm down to the pier and back. I thought, oh good, we get some rock on the way. And he said, you've got to be down to the pier in 40 minutes or you're not allowed back. No fucking problem, an hour and a half at least for me. And unfortunately the tide was so strong I got washed down in 39, so I had to go back again, which is a bit of a nightmare. And one good thing about it was we were actually being accompanied by a man in a canoe, who obviously thought the 2 fat ones at the back might drown. and he had a long bamboo stick with a fucking energy drink on the end of it. I said, get a Big Mac on that or a punchy So of course the others finished kind of in, 55 minutes. We were still going. We thought, well, let's make a day of it, Quite big, well, it was big by the seaside. And we both had our nice swimming caps on. Joe said, a nice spotty swimming cap. Seagull had shat on it. But we're swimming along. We thought, we'll keep near to the shore and we'll just have a chat, about ladies' things. Nice day out. So we were swimming along chatting and looked over to the shore. There's some bloke there shouted out, "Shut your mouth." How rude. I said, "How dare you? We're just swimming in a charity fundraiser." He said, "No, you're coming up to the sewage pipe." Oh, what a charming day out in Hastings that was. So I'm afraid I went back to running again, but the problem with running is if you're 100 yards away from your house and you need a wee, what do? Well, normal people squat, normal women squat, but I know if I do that I'll never get up again. So I found myself a nice little thing called a she-wee. You heard of this? It's marvellous. It's a pipe thing that allows ladies to have a piss standing up. Oh, it's marvellous. It's quite hard to operate, right? So it says in the literature, practice first, right? Pop it in, aim somewhere appropriate, like Croydon. No, that works quite well now. Now, I told you, that I was married. Yes, I don't know how that happened, but I am. And in fact, I'm happily married. Unfortunately, my husband's not, but fuck it, we can't all be happy, can we? And we've been together quite a long time. And how many, I think Jeff was asking you how many married couples. Are there many married couples in? Hey, that sort of, hey, I'm a married couple.